This video covers chapter 10, section 1 in our book. It's titled The Byzantine Empire. So what exactly was the Byzantine Empire? Let's kind of call it Rome Part 2. You'll remember from our earlier chapter, Rome fell in 476 officially, but before that, this guy right here, Constantine, the first Roman ruler to be baptized in the Christian faith. He made Christianity the official religion of the Roman Empire, but he played a role in moving a capital from Rome to Constantinople, which was originally known as Byzantium. Remember, that was a Greek city-state that we looked at earlier, but Constantine then renames the city Constantinople, the city of Constantine. It's the Whoa, Mr. Schweitzer's getting clever with the maps. Okay, so Constantinople, what made the city so prosperous? What made it thrive for about 1,000 years? Well, we have to look at the geography of it. So first, Constantinople is located on that narrow stretch of water known as the Straits of Bosporus. My pen is going crazy. Hopefully you can see, but this tiny little stretch of water was really important for Byzantine culture because look what it does. If you're in the Black Sea and you're in your boat, you can go through the Straits of Bosporus, you can go down in through the Aegean, next to Greece and Peloponnesus, into the Mediterranean Sea, the Adriatic, Tyrrhenian. You can get all the way over here to Spain and off the Straits of Gibraltar to the ocean. So why is that such a big deal? Remember, boats, don't laugh at my boat, that was the biggest source of transportation at that time. How did people get from one place to the other? How did they trade from one place to the other? How did goods and services move from one place to the other? They moved via boat. So that was one reason Constantinople was thriving. It was an ideal location for trade. But perhaps more importantly, it was also an ideal city for protection. Now, I'm no military expert, but I assume it's much harder to attack a city that has water on one side. You can't really have a siege as efficiently if it's on water. So that was another reason that Constantinople would be a thriving city for almost 1,000 years. So regarding rulers in the Byzantine Empire, we have to talk about Justinian. He's known as Justinian the First. Sometimes we hear him as Justinian the Great. He was the most famous of the Byzantine rulers, and his wife was a major reason why. I made her bigger because she's a pretty intense, intimidating woman. Her name is Theodora. Now, what are Justinian and Theodora known for? They're known for law. Not like law and order, well, kind of like law and order. They created what later became known as the body of civil law. So he's not like Caesar, famous for, the civil war in Rome, or Alexander the Great. They're known for taking a series of sets of existing old Roman laws and codifying them into one single set of laws that can be followed throughout the empire. This is what they are known for, and this was a pretty remarkable feat. Why? Because even, 100 years later, 100 years, come on, 1,000 years later, 1500, modern Western kingdoms, the republics in Italy and France, they're basing their law systems off of the body of civil law. So that's their big contribution to the Byzantine Empire. But we also have to talk about this building here, this colossal structure originally built as a church called the Hagia Sophia. It means the Church of Holy Wisdom. It's this colossal structure that I really, really hope we can all go to someday. It was originally built as a Christian church because remember, Constantine, he made Christianity the official religion of the Roman Empire, and this was followed through in the Eastern Roman Empire, in the Byzantine Empire. And they built this building that was just an incredible testament to architecture at the time. This is considered the pinnacle of Byzantine art. It's constructed in 527, 537. No, it's constructed in 537. It's commissioned by Justinian and Theodora. So someday when we all go see it. Later on, though, we'll see in 1453, it's actually transformed into a mosque, and it's a museum now today. So when you walk in, you can see elements of both Christianity and Islam in this building. So Byzantine culture was at its zenith, its greatest period of prosperity under Justinian and Theodora. But afterwards, the empire began to decline. It fought a series of unsuccessful wars. Trade wasn't booming, and the Byzantine Empire began to decline. But that did have one exception. I don't know why this 9 isn't there. In 976, the reign of Basil II, who is not mentioned in your... Oh, wait, yeah, he is mentioned in your textbook. He revives the empire and creates what becomes known as a second age of Byzantine greatness. Man, I need a new pen. Sorry, guys. It's not the battery this time either. I changed it. The second age of Byzantine greatness, when the empire begins to rebuild and conquer some of the former territories that did exist under the Roman Empire. This map does a good job. Yellow was, what used to be the Roman Empire but fell. Again, the orange is the Byzantine Empire. And so there was some accomplishments made under Basil II, but they were short-lived. Okay, most important part of the video. 1054, we have the Great Schism. What was the Great Schism? Let's look at this fantastic chart. Yeah, again, I'm really getting pretty tech-savvy on here. Schism of 1054. Ultimately, this is where we can think about Taylor Swift and a breakup. So remember, Christianity was the official religion of the empire. Whoops, my pen's not on. Christianity was the official religion of the empire. This is my church. Don't laugh. But it split up. Why did it split up? Because there were some disagreements, right? Just like in a Taylor Swift song. I should really use a better reference here. Why are some reasons you might break up with someone? I don't know. Maybe they didn't text enough. Maybe they didn't get you tickets to the Justin Bieber concert. Is that how you spell Bieber? I think so. It's coming to Detroit pretty soon. Or maybe, I don't know, jealousy, whatever. You break up, right? Unfortunately, happens to all of us, right? The same thing happened to the church, and in 1054, there was a series of disagreements, just like texting, just like Bieber, and just like jealousy. There were differences in the West and the East, one of which involved language. In the West, in what used to be the Roman Empire, they spoke Latin. But in the East, they did not speak Latin, they spoke Greek. See, the pen works better on this page. I don't know why. Whatever. So that was a big difference because, what language do you say the Mass in? Do you say it in Latin or do you say it in Greek? Another difference involved the authority of the Pope. In the West, they thought the Pope should be the leader of the Catholic Church. He thought he was an important figurehead to which Christianity could be represented by. But in the East, no Pope. They didn't think his presence was necessary. But perhaps the most important one, so give me your attention for this part, in the West, they thought the use of icons and images could be used in prayer in addition to things like praying for saints. The West thought that was okay. They thought it was a good way to supplement their worship. But in the East, they absolutely did not. No images. No icons. This probably the most significant factor that leads to the Great Schism of 1054. No images, no icons. Schism, what does that word mean? I forget if I mentioned it earlier in this video. Schism, split, breaking up, just like in a Taylor Swift song. And then we get two separate churches. The Roman Catholic Church in the West, whose home would be in Rome, as it is today, in Vatican City. And in the East, we get the Eastern Orthodox Church. This is most likely, at least I would think, the biggest contribution, I don't know if that's the right word, event that happened in the Byzantine Empire because it had profound effects on the rest of So that was 1054. And then again, Byzantine Empire begins to decline after this time period. More wars. In fact, Christian crusaders in like 1204 sacked the city of Constantinople for its riches. But then ultimately in 1453, Constantinople falls and is taken by the Turks, the last ruler of the Byzantine Empire, Constantine the Ninth. No, I always do that. Constantine the 11th, right? Yeah, your textbook doesn't say that one. Constantine the 11th, yes, he's the last ruler. He's not able to hold on to the city, and then Constantinople becomes the source of our favorite song. Be careful, it will get stuck in your head. Istanbul, where it serves as the seat for what would become the Ottoman Empire, which would again have a vast impact on modern history. Istanbul, not Constantinople. I think that's how it goes. Be careful, be warned. It's a catchy song. But go listen to it now because it's probably, hopefully, a little more interesting than my voice, which you're probably done hearing now.